Also, if you are hanging in here, just choked myself. Hang on. Whoa. What's up? Oh, goodness. Wish my sense of smell never came back. Hi, welcome to FiberLoveDiary. I'm Trish if we haven't met, and if we have met, welcome back. You're probably a subscriber, and I appreciate you so much. You don't even know. I would not even be here without you guys, so thank you. Really important thing that I do not want to forget to do. There is a special viewer who watches with her mom. Her name is Nadia, and I wanted to say hi. Hi, Nadia. Thank you for the nice things that you had to say about my last video. I appreciate you a lot. How are you? What's going on in your corner of the world? How is the COVID situation? I've heard that the numbers are going back up in my state, so we kind of don't know what to expect. I've just heard so much different stuff. I've heard so much conjecture from people who are not epidemiologists. I'm worn out. I'm worn out. So in order to counteract my worn outedness, oh, that reminds me, it's Monday. Let's spin something. Want to? Welcome to Breed Study episode 7. By the way, I thought I would tell you guys, I've decided to add a couple different species fiber to this breed study. They'll come at the end, so it'll extend us out just a little bit longer, maybe like 2 more weeks. But I think that it bears doing. I think that they are kind of missing from this breed study, so I'm gonna add them and spin them here. Also, there is a playlist. This is episode 7, but if you're just showing up and you're like, wait, 7, what? I missed it all. There's a playlist. It'll be linked below. You can start at 1, go through all the way to the end if you want to, whatever. It has been a great learning experience for me, and I think other people have learned too, which is awesome. You know what this means. It's time. Just in case you're new, and there have been new people every single week, you can find a link to this breed study in the description box. And using the Fleece and Fiber source book as my primary data source for this. I'm not an expert. I'm learning just like you. Let's learn together. I still haven't decorated my binder if you're wondering, but don't worry, when I do, it will come up on this channel. I have some ideas. I'm just sort of trying to flesh them out. I'm slow to make these decisions because I don't want to make mistakes. It's a bad quality of mine that kind of holds me back sometimes, but it's okay. This week, we have Lincoln and Manx Loaghtan. Let's look them up. Let's talk about them. I got my breed sheets ready right over here. I'm gonna write some info about them. Let's get into it. Okay, Lincoln long wool. It says it's a conservation breed. I have spun Lincoln before. It's known as a long wool. So typically a long wool would be lustrous, although of course there's always some variations even in these categories. Typically the locks are going to be long. I know, shocking, right? They will have more of a curl than a crimp generally, or they'll have a very loose crimp if they have a crimp. They're more lustrous. They're usually stronger and coarser, so that means a higher micron count. I've usually had like silver, charcoal, those kind of colors, so I don't think I've ever spun white Lincoln before. They're evolved from way back when the Romans occupied the east coast of England, so a lot of you guys probably know about that from movies or history. It was a very long time ago. Oh, and Lincolns have been used to develop Leicester long wool. They're the largest sheep in the British Isles. Says most likely in the world. So there are rams over 350 pounds of this kind of sheep. That's nuts. Heavy, long, lustrous fiber that handles much like mohair. I can see that, but the thing about that's different for me, because you guys know I'm really not a mohair fan, but the fibers in mohair, what I've experienced a lot of times is that they're varying lengths or they're much shorter than a Lincoln, and so they also fly around the room while you're trying to spin it and stick to your face and your hair and your clothes and everything, and I have not had that experience with Lincoln. That's the main thing I don't like about mohair, so I don't mind Lincoln at all. It says in North America, the breed standard is at least 33.5 microns, so that's pretty coarse. You guys have asked, somebody asked recently, what does the micron count mean? So it's like the measurement of the diameter of the hair. So a smaller micron count, like say 14, 15, is a very fine hair. And a 33.5 would be more of a coarse hair. Oh, they have different colors. I did not know this either. They have different colors on different parts of their bodies. Darkest usually shoulders and legs. It says there has been a Lincoln fleece weighed in at 46 pounds. That's like a child, okay? It says it will felt, but it doesn't felt easily. Generally 11 to 16 pounds is the fleece size. That is still a very, very big fleece. 7 to 15 inches, but the average is 7 to 10. Wow. Fiber diameters in the US, 33.5 to 41 microns. In UK, 41 to 45. In New Zealand, it's closer to the US numbers. And mostly white, silver gray, black, and some possibly more. It takes color well. Also, it says it's really good to spin from the lock. I like to spin a Lincoln fleece from the lock. Basically, my experience has been you can just take the lock, take a flicker brush, flick through one end, flick through the butt end, and just spin it. It is so fast to go through the locks that way. It's a picture of the Lincoln sheep. She kind of looks like she's not having it. So I never knew this before, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I never really just thought about it. That lamb fleeces are often used for garments, but the adult fleeces are more often used for like wool upholstery fabric or a rug or something like that. They are really coarse. Let's open this and check a staple length. I swear I do have a tape measure here. Here's my tape measure. It's very coarse. I mean, you can just feel it immediately. It feels very similar to the Icelandic, actually. All right, so this is not crazy super long. Like, there are a few, I'm gonna see if you can see that. There are a few hairs, let's see, coming out here. See those? So the longest staple is gonna be longer than this, but I'm gonna kind of go average. So it is, this is about 6.5 inches staple. I'm gonna spin this straight up worsted, short forward draw, do not change the prep, this is top. So let's go spin. It's the next day. Hello, how are you? We finished spinning the Lincoln. This is the Lincoln. Okay, so I put a little post-it in here so I could put one of those bracelets on. I got 40 yards out of it. And you saw that the little bundle was much smaller than the other one. So it is quite prickly in my opinion. I would not normally have spun it this thick, but it just seemed to want to be this thickness. It's pretty consistent. I didn't really enjoy this spin as much. I mean, normally I think of Lincoln as something I would spin much finer, but it just really didn't seem to want to be as fine as I was thinking in my head it would want to be. And as you guys know, I am a big proponent of not fighting your fiber. It's like kids, like you can try and force it to be what you want it to be, but that's not going to make for a happy relationship. So you gotta just let it be who it wants to be and then try and go with it and love it anyway. It's quite ropey. There is no stretch. I think it would make nice work, but it still wouldn't be nice for on your skin, or at least not for me. It's just, you can see, it's like a little bit more prickly. It's got ends, even from top and a short forward draw, which is a worsted draw. It is prickly and it has ends sticking out all over. I honestly don't know how I could have made it any smoother. I have had Lincoln that was still coarse, but not this prickly. So I am not sure. I'm not sure what to think about this. I probably won't buy it. So I guess that tells you what I think about it in a nutshell, all by itself. Lincoln. I'm kind of excited about this one. So now on to the Manx Loaghtan. I'm doing my best with the pronunciation. It's really hard. These come from the Isle of Man. Did not know that. In the geographic center of the British Isles, but has never been part of the United Kingdom. They used to be called Manx mountain sheep. This says fleeces went from white, gray, black, as well as a rare and valued soft shade of brown. I bet you that's this. Today, brown is the dominant color within the breed. So that makes sense. One of you said you got this also and that the color was the same and really unusual. I agree. And it sounds like this is the kind of predominant color now, because we were like wondering if, is this the only color? You know, it doesn't sound like it's the only color, but most of them are this color. Wait till you see these. Oh, the breed does carry horns in both sexes. There's only a few breeds that do that. Oh, it says some people say they must have 4 horns. Others think 2 are sufficient. Occasional animals with 6, just like Jacob. It says in this book, I Googled this, okay, so I could try to pronounce it right, and I've been pronouncing it wrong according to the Fleece and Fiber source book. This says Loaghtan. We're gonna call it Loaghtan from now on. We're gonna try and get it right. I mean, I could make a t-shirt that says, Trish, trying to get it right, and literally wear it every day, because that's my life, okay? Wait, we gotta show you the sheep. He also totally looks, well, I guess we don't know if that's a she. Those horns look kind of scary, right? Okay. Fleece weight, 3 to 5.5 pounds, like more on the small side. Staple length, 2.5 to 5 inches. Okay, so that's telling us something right there. And then fiber diameters, 27 to 33. Apparently there's a woolly type and a hairy type. Oh, okay, so those are not 2 types of fiber in the same fleece. Those are 2 types of fleece that come from the Manx Loaghtan sheep. Crimp is bold, uniform, and of consistent quality throughout from butt to tip. Ooh, that's nice. It can be over dyed. So the plan is right now to dye all of this and do something with it. You guys, I know some of you are going crazy, but you just have to wait. You just have to. Pick and card or comb fibers that are long enough. So I don't know how long these are yet. Basically, it says it depends on the fleece and what you want, which is always kind of true, right? So let's check the staple length. And then I think I know what I want to do with this one, but it just doesn't even seem real. All right. This one is just a shade under 5 inches long. You can see that pretty color, and there's like variation in that color. And that nice fine crimp and fine fiber. So some of you are probably guessing that I'm going to want to card this, and normally I probably would, because I would want to take advantage of how squishy this is, the shorter fiber, the really like fine crimpy nature of this. But I thought instead this time I would also short forward draw this, because I want you guys to see, since I'm going to short forward draw the Lincoln, which isn't going to have a lot of crimp and is going to be very drapey. I wanted to show you, if I do not change the prep and if I do not change the drafting style, how much fluffier it can still be just based on the quality of the characteristics of the wool. So let's go spin this. I'm fearing that it's going to make me want a bump of this too, but it's just, it is what it is, you know? And last, for this week anyway, the Manx Loaghtan. So many weeks we've seen this. Oh, I got 60 yards, and we've seen this a couple of times now. You gotta see this. Look. Can you see it? That's insane. That's insane. So while I was like looking at it and deciding what I was gonna do, I could tell it was gonna be super squish and really amazing. And I loved spinning this. I've never spun it before. I did at the very end try to do a little bit of straight long draw from the top, and it was totally fine to do, which you can't, it's not always, what's the right word? It's sometimes challenging to do from top with certain kinds of fibers, because some fibers just, when they're in top and they're all together, they just want to grip the whole thing. And it didn't do that at all, and it is so super squished. Look at this. I mean, it's just smushy. It's pretty soft. I mean, it's not like merino or cormo soft, but it's pretty soft, and it is a really interesting and pretty color. Maybe too close to my hair color. I would look like I was wearing an outfit made of my own hair. That's not cool, but gotta check this out. There was a lady who did that. Oh, look at that. And I was trying to spin it pretty fine, and it just has so much floof in it. You can't, it can't be tamed, okay? The floof can't be tamed. The only color I could find this in commercially is this color. And it did say in the Fleece and Fiber source book that this is really common color. I absolutely loved it, but I would definitely buy myself a bump of this if I had unlimited funds and space. Hey, any Manx Loaghtan farmers out there in the United States, or heck, other countries that wants to send me some, call me. I loved it. Did I say I loved it? Can you tell I loved it? I freaking loved it. This is episode 7. I did want to tell you guys, I'm going to add a few species to the end of the breed study. I feel like this breed study is lacking a couple of sheep breeds and then a couple of species. So I'm actually working on putting together a breed study that contains baby alpaca, adult alpaca, llama, and mohair, and there might have been another one, plus 1 or 2 other sheep breeds that I think are just missing. So next week we will be back with Masham, another one I've never spun. Let's see, can we get in here? Come on. With Masham, it's a pretty gray. And then Perindale, which I have spun quite a bit of and I love. And I've processed whole raw fleeces of this, so I do expect to enjoy it, but lately this whole thing has been kind of full of surprises, so who knows. I'm glad to have you guys here with me on this journey. Thanks, I love you, bye.